pay insufficient attention to the frightening scenario of a comprehensive cyber attack, which would bring to a complete halt to the power supply, transportation, hospital services, our society as a whole. The COVID-19 crisis would be seen in this respect as a small disturbance in comparison to a major cyber attack.
Kohalo Yahweh Bahashim, Yahweh Shai Bahashim Akakodash. Double honors to the apostles of GMS who teach in Ruel. Salutations to you brothers in the highways and byways, making your body a living sacrifice. Salutations also goes out to you brothers and few sisters that tune in to listen and learn. I'm the brother Malak from the Diligent Soldier Camp here in Boston, Mass. As always, I pray this lesson be edifying to the elect. The name of this one is Warning Straight from the Horse's Mouth. Warning straight from the horse's mouth. And as you saw in the pre-production, a man by the name of Carl Schwab, I think I'm pronouncing his name right. If I'm not, who the hell cares? But it's something along those lines. And if you don't know who this man is, he is actually like the head of the WEF, the World Economic Forum, where basically a bunch of heads of states, heads of nations, very so-called important people that belong to different nations come together, right, to plan out, conspire, right, come together to basically plot on the world, from economics to so-called climate change, to the fact that to the point where they're now calling the New World Order, they're not calling it the Great Reset. Okay, but it's the same plan, just different players or new players, you know what I mean, or even the same players, man, reincarnated, coming back to how do I say, make sure to execute this device, man, right, that they've been putting together for centuries now, man. But as you heard him say, straight from his mouth, giving warning of cyber attacks and a paralyzation of the nations, man, that's going to be coming, because we know it's we're expecting that here in Babylon, but it's been going on around the world for I want to say for like the past 12-13 years, man. There's a documentary 2 hours long. I recommend brothers watch. It's like 2 hours and 15 minutes long. It's called 0 Days, where it's talking about a malware, right? You got hardware, you got software, then you got malware, which basically is like a virus. Something put together maliciously, basically. That was discovered in 2010 by, I think it was some British people. Some Edomites found it somewhere in the east, and basically it was a program put together definitely by the head of a nation, a powerful nation, by a government. It wasn't your regular normal hacking type of virus. It was definitely put together by higher ups, okay? And to this day they don't admit who it was. No one takes the what's the word, not benefit, man, what is the word that's escaping me right now? No one's claiming it, okay? For lack of another word, I don't know why. Satan, man. Anyways, no one's claiming it at the at that but no one's claiming that that virus, right? And it actually spread all around the world. And it's the first time. The reason I'm bringing this out is because it's the first time that that was done to cyber attack a nation, and the nation that mostly got attacked, or it definitely attacked and caused problems for, and some say that it was aimed at, was Iran, right? Persia. Iran is just a modern day way of saying Persia, but it attacked Iran, and there are something fusions, whatever, these cylinders that basically have poison, uranium, and all this other stuff. These how these people make their bombs, their nuclear bombs, nuclear power, and all that. It basically attacked them, and the fingers were pointed, and a lot of people were speculating that it was the Babylon, right? The U.S. Because since the early 80s, Babylon has gone all around the world, convincing people, all the nations, not to sell anything to Iran that will cause them to basically put their nuclear power plants, right, and their technology, and help them with their technology, or finding, learning the technology, or putting it together. Whatever the point is, that they've been doing that for a while, even though they were the first ones that sold them, or that gave them the reactor. So it's not a coincidence. It's actually funny, you know what I mean, that and ironic that Babylon were the ones that gave them their first reactor, and they still using it to this day, I believe. Obviously they updated it, but then Iraq gave them some other. I think it was Iraq gave them some other pieces and technology to basically update, and so they could keep going with that with their practice of nuclear power and technology, right? The point I'm making is, man, they found out that it was Babylon. Babylon doesn't admit to it, but they found out it was them. And at the end of that documentary, this actress that's playing a whistleblower from, I think it was the NSA, she says that that malware, right, or that virus, that, by the way, it was coined actually Stuxnet. You can look this up. She said that was just the beginning, or just like that was just a piece of a larger plot, or a larger machine or weapon, cyber weapon that Babylon holds, man. Okay, Babylon and other heads of state, because this is exactly 10 years later, 13 years later, this is exactly what we're seeing right now, as far as like malfunctions in different industrial machines, as far as like nuclear power plants, different companies with computer networks, our electrical grid, our power grid, as far as like traffic lights, right, telecommunications, all these industrial machines, if you will, they all are basically backed up by computers, and and these complex components to them. And that Stuxnet basically was the blueprint, or a weapon to override those computers and to manipulate those things, whether to shut it down or to, if you have a valve that somewhere that has to be open so it could release pressure, someone could use these viruses from another place in another country to basically manipulate it and make it, that pressure builds up and, pressure bust pipes, man. Explosions could occur, definitely, other tragic things could happen, and now you have this guy, Carl Schwab's, this devil, this Edomite, basically admitting and telling us what's going to happen, man. What they're planning, okay? Because these Satanists, they have their rules that they go by, and their main rule is that they have to tell the world or the masses what they're up to, and if no type of resistance that could achieve, stopping them happens, they basically think of themselves as, they're not to blame because they warned the masses, right? So it's just wickedness, man. And though a lot of our people are blind to the fact of what the WEF is, these things are happening. These people exist. They're coming together. They're conspiring, right? That word conspiring just basically means coming together and plotting. You know what I mean? Being on one accord, plotting maliciously, and this is what they're doing. Okay, so anything that happens around the world, anything major, is always it's always known by who, not known by who does it, because we don't know, right? It's always a hidden hand. We know it's the elites, the heads of the heads, right? But our people are blind to that fact, and if you tell them, they just don't want to believe, because it interrupts their warped reality, the lie that they live, because people love to live lies, man. They're afraid of what they don't understand, and neither do they even want to begin to understand. But it's going to affect everyone simultaneously, man. And the Lord has set up men to his prophets to warn, to see these things and to warn their people. And those men that were set up were Israelite men, Israelite prophets, to warn other Israelites. Okay, though the scriptures say we do prophesy, we are prophets unto the nations too, because we basically tell them what their fate is, right? In the near future, as far as Esau going down, going into slavery, being deleted, eradicated from earth, and these other nations going into bondage, into slavery, right? So we are prophets to them, we prophesy to them, but mostly the warning always goes out to Israel, right? And whether they hear or forbear, these things are still going to happen. Okay, so first scripture I want to bring out real quick is Isaiah 62:6. It says, I have set watchmen upon thy walls, O Jerusalem. These watchmen are the prophets, which shall never hold their peace day or night. And right now it's early morning and I'm making this lesson. You have other brothers, as I'm reading these scriptures, I'm seeing the notifications of YouTube of brothers, on that unicorn, which is the internet, putting out these cyber epistles, man. These warnings, okay, that the Lord have set them up to do. Okay, these are those watchmen that are seeing these things happening and are warning the flock, man. Okay, it says, O Jerusalem, which shall never hold their peace day nor night, ye that make mention of the Lord Yahweh, keep not silence. So I should say, starting with the apostles on down, and the brothers that are in one accord and speak the same thing, because as of late you have a lot of bug outs speaking speaking perverseness, speaking wayward doctrines, right? I won't get into that, but anyways, not everyone is a prophet, man. You have false. There's a lot of prophets, I should say, but you have false ones, and then you have real ones, okay, or righteous ones, I should say, and the ones that are giving you warning of the things to come, those are your real righteous prophets that you should take heed from, man, because that's through them the Lord speaks, man. Okay. The next scripture I want to bring out is Ecclesiasticus chapter 5 and 15. It says, "Be not ignorant of anything in a great matter or small." Okay, you hear something like a WEF, World Economic Forum, and what you should do is not be ignorant to what it is. It says world, and then it says economic. You know what I mean? So it's like, all right, this is something global that affects the whole globe. Let me see what this is about. That's basically what the scripture's saying, man. To not be ignorant to anything that's small or something that's great, man. You should even if you don't understand it fully, you should definitely get familiar with these things, man, because these people are being mentioned in mainstream media. They're being mentioned in alternative media sites, okay, and through the men of the Lord, man. We airing these people out, man, letting the hopeful elect, the elect, know what's going on and putting them up to date, up to par, right? So we can't be ignorant to these things. So someone that tells you not to worry about it doesn't affect me, so you shouldn't even worry about it. Just pray to the Lord and just do what you got to do and feed your family and be about your family. Those are ignorant people, man, that when shit goes down, and they lose their lights and they lose their ability to get any type of money from their banks, they're going to lose their fucking mind. As the old saying goes, man, when people lose everything, they lose it. And what they lose is their fucking mind. And after you lost your mind and you can't do anything comprehensive or what's the word? I forget the word right now. But when logical, when you can't do any logical thinking, man, you're unstable, and those around you are unstable. So you as a man that has a family, you're looked at as the stability. Okay, and if you're not stable, everyone else is losing their shit too. Okay, that's why the scripture says, wisdom shall be the stability of thy time, and strength, and the strength of what? Of your salvation, man. Because the wisdom that we'll have of those things that are happening, we're not gonna be going crazy, man. When it's lights out here in Babylon, we're going to be relying on the Lord. We're relying on him now, but we're gonna be put to the ultimate test then, because shit is gonna hit the fan soon out here, man. And this was prophesied in the scriptures, man. And the scripture says what was written aforetime was written for our learning, and another scripture says that that which was is now that. Oh man, I don't want to butcher it, but basically, it's a lot of what basically history is going to repeat itself, man. Okay, this is the book of Exodus chapter 10 verse 21. And Yahweh said unto Moses, stretch out thine hand towards heaven, that there may be darkness over the land of Egypt, even darkness which may be felt. Okay, Egypt, your modern day Egypt is Babylon, man. Right? It's also Babylon because and it's known as Babylon because there's nothing but confusion here, man. Okay, and darkness will play out again here and abroad too, right? But we're here in Babylon, man, and this darkness that the Lord put over Egypt back then was felt. You could feel how dark it was, man. I've been in I lived in the Dominican Republic, and out there, the lights, you have what's known as rolling blackouts. Sometimes, there'll be, the light will leave at 11 in the morning, it won't come back to like 6 in the afternoon, or 1 in the afternoon, don't come back to like 8, 9 o'clock at night. And depending where you live, if there's not too much, street lights, because sometimes, you know, you'll have like one side of the street that has light, so where you are will be pretty dark, but that little bit of light that's down the block kind of shines all the way down there, you know, where you are. So you're able to see somewhat, or where you're walking. But that darkness that fell over Egypt, man, you couldn't even see your hand in front of you, man. It was so thick that you could feel it, man. You know what I mean? Just like silence. You could, when there's perfect silence, you could hear it, man. You know, lock yourself in a room, or in somewhere where it's what's the name for that, man? Like a studio, when it's soundproof, and total silence, man, is loud, man. Okay, it was studied before, and it could even drive someone crazy. It could drive someone mad, man. But nonetheless, man, Book of Exodus is clearly saying that, you know, back then Moses raised his hand up. The Lord told him to raise his hand up, and there was darkness, and darkness fell upon Egypt, man. Okay, we know that Babylon is also known as Egypt because we're in bondage here. All the idols of ancient Egypt are here also. Okay, this is what Esau, this is who Esau learned all his wickedness, a lot of his wickedness from, man, from back then. You know, and side note, they learned a lot from Egypt, but they like to say that society started with the Greeks, but you know, that's a whole nother lesson, okay? Because it didn't start in Egypt neither. It started in Israel, man. Okay, but that's another lesson for another day. Next scripture I want to bring out is Isaiah chapter 60 verse 2. It says, "For behold, the darkness shall cover the earth, and gross darkness the people." And this is what you're seeing right now, darkness in the people, man. Even though there's light right now where you are, there's darkness around us because, you know, people's eyes are shut to the truth, man. Okay, they can't see the light, they can't see this truth, and ultimately it's because the Lord has them blinded to it, man. Has blinded them to that fact, man, or to the truth, right? It says, "But Yahweh shall rise upon thee, and his glory shall be seen upon thee." This is why when famine hits, you know, the people are going to be going crazy, and are going to be, and by famine I mean famine of the word, Salakia, famine of the word. Let me just be clear. When the famine of the word comes, people are going to be going crazy, looking for the prophets, man, to figure out what's going on, right? Because by that time you probably won't be able to watch TV or see anything on TV, any type of warnings, people. It's going to be chaos, man. Okay, total and utter chaos on earth, man, or here in Babylon. Okay, and it's going to drive people mad. So again from the top, for Isaiah 60 and 2, "For behold, the darkness shall cover the earth, and gross darkness the people." Okay, darkness around the earth, right? When these cyber attacks hit, that these nations are attacking each other, or at the end of the day, it's just these elites, right? The illuminated ones on the left hand side, given the order to black out these different nations, including Babylon, right? It's going to be very dark, and people are not going to function the same, man. A lot of their true colors are going to come out, man. Their animal-like instincts and their animal-like ways of being are going to come out, man. Esau's going to show his fucking fangs, man, and let you know he's been Dracula this whole fucking time, man. Okay? "For behold, the darkness shall cover the earth, and gross darkness the people not knowing and trying to figure out what the fuck's going on. But the Lord, Yahweh, shall arise upon thee, and his glory shall be seen upon thee." The countenance of his men are going to be shining as they're shining now, man. People see it on us, man, and know that we're different. And I've had comments before, man, and all praises to Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, and I pray that he keeps that same spirit on me. But I've had comments before of my of close family members telling me, man, like you're like glowing, man, like your face is glowing, and I'm like, I'm sitting next to them having a drink in their backyard, and I'm like, what you talking about, man? It's dark back here. We got the little fire going, in the pit, a little fire pit or whatever. So we're there, just chilling or whatever, and I could probably just be thinking about scriptures, thinking about what's going on. I don't know what it was at that time. I remember it was a few years ago, and I'm over here telling my brother-in-laws, about the truth, about the chariots. We're looking up to the stars. We're seeing. I'm pointing out the chariots to them, and they're seeing it. One of my brother-in-laws would say, "Oh, but that's probably a satellite," and I'm like, "All right, so why is it taking that left?" or kind of circling around, and now it's like it's disappearing right in front of us. Not like further down. It's disappearing right in front of us. Letting us know that we know you're watching us. We know it's you're really watching us. You know what you're seeing here. Nonetheless, I've had my other brother-in-law make that comment to me a couple times in a couple of different occasions, man. So, and that was just him saying that to me. I at first I didn't even understand, and then I stumble upon these scriptures and look up other lessons speaking about it, and the Lord definitely has. The Lord definitely shines upon his men, and people notice that, man. Okay, when I'm out and about with the Akim, breaking bread somewhere, we're in a restaurant or we're somewhere, we just stand out. You know what I mean? We stand out. We the love that we show each other and the way we speak to each other. You know what I mean? It's not like everybody else. And mind you, there's 4 or 5 different tribes in my camp. Actually 4 different camps. 4 different nationalities right now, so-called nationalities. So 4 different tribes, Salakia, 4 different tribes in my camp alone. And so these people are seeing this diversity of men, you know what I mean, sitting at a table and getting along and just, the Lord makes a distinction, man, of his men and everyone else, man. Okay? But nonetheless, man, this shine that is speaking of here, this glory, is basically, us knowing the truth, man, us being up to date, the Lord having his light on us, man, shining, and us knowing the times, it's going to be evident to people, man, at that time, even when these so-called cyber attacks happen, they're going to be deliberate, man. If you know of something happening, then why you don't prepare yourself, right? Just like Carl Schwab, if he knows that this is going to happen, then why aren't they preparing and putting protocols together to combat that, so that won't happen? Because they want it to happen. You know what I mean? They want it to happen. They want these things to pass, man. So what we need to be doing is taking heed of what the scriptures are saying and trying to tell us, because the day of the Lord is near. The day of the Lord is dark. The day of the Lord is going to be very hot. It's going to be very scary. You know what I mean? And it's a process played out. It's not going to be just one day. Even though the scriptures do speak about him destroying Babylon and these other nations. It speaks about destroying Babylon in an hour. You know what I'm saying? But what I'm speaking here is all these other things going on that are going to happen on earth is also now in these latter days is also a part of the days of the Lord, man, because the Lord is visiting this place, man, through tempests. You see what's going on in California, you know what I'm saying, through the people having sedition, you know what I mean. You see that all over the world right now, so we're definitely living in those times, man. So even though the people could doubt you or could doubt what doubt what you're saying, right, and what you're trying to warn them from, hey, man, just keep up that fight, man. You know what I'm saying? We see and we hear the warning straight out, straight from the horse's mouth, and we taking heed to what the scripture says, man, which is to measure the times, man. Okay? Because they could front all they want, but I'll leave you with this last scripture. I'll close out with this last scripture. They could front all they want on you, man, and ridicule you, try to ridicule you, and call you, a pessimist and any type of other negative names, man. But scripture says that you're blessed when people shall say all matters of evils of you, man. Okay, you're blessed in the Lord's eyes, man. So you keep up the fight, man. All right. This is the book of Ezekiel 33, verse 33. Okay, which 3 goes into understanding. So understand this. And when this cometh to pass, lo, it will come. Then shall they know that a prophet has been among them. Okay, the Lord is going to let it be clear to these people to know that a prophet was among them, and gave them warning about that, and they scoffed, and they fanned their hands, or they shut their ears, right? Or they walked away, or they ridiculed, or they called you names, or they demonized you, or they called the cops on you when shit hits the fan and it's illegal to even say anything, right? They're gonna know that a prophet was among them, that they did those things to you when the Lord makes it evident to them, evident that what you warned them about is happening in their face, man. Okay. So with that, I want to give all honors and praises and thank the Lord for putting the Spirit on me to bring this lesson out. And I want to just say, Kol Halo Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shai Bahashem V'Kakodash. Again, double honors to the apostles who teach and rule well and continue being great examples to us brothers. Salutations to you brothers in the houses and hedges. Salutations to you brothers and few sisters that tune in to listen and learn. Shalom.